And that's how it begins, folks. That's how it all starts here on the Paranormal Portal. And that's how I start. Welcome to the show, the Paranormal Portal. Wearing my glasses tonight again, so I guess I look smarter, maybe a little bit smarter. I don't know. I'm going for it, though. Since you guys were so complimentary last time, I was like, oh, maybe I'll wear glasses. And Why not? Why not? You get a lot more light reflection. See my ring light on my eyeballs? Yeah. Looks like I got two pupils now. Just saying. But hope you guys are doing great. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Paranormal Portal, as always. Always, we got an epic evening going on. Hey, Taz, good to see you. I missed you. I've seen your comments here and there on Facebook, but it's always nice to see you in person here on the live show. Hey, Uncaged Savage, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Amateur Acoustics, what is the good word? I don't know. I think that's unknown, though. Good to see you, brother. Neil S. is here. John Temperin. Rachel gets it right. How you guys doing? Now you can read the spooky books on the shelf behind you. I wish they were actually books, because if they really were, they'd probably be pretty cool. Oh, it's okay. You can be whoever you choose to be, man. I just recognized the picture. I was like, yeah, I know that's you. I know that's you. I know you. Who else is here? I'm just going to go from the top down rather than scrolling up. Paranormal Portal is here. Oh, that's me. Phil Funk was the first one in the door tonight. How you doing, Phil? Hey, Devin. Good to see ya. Rachel gets it right again. Isaac is here. Isaac Ariola. Good to see you, brother. Uncaged Savage. I think that's a new name. So if that's a new name, thanks for coming in and checking out the show. That's phenomenal. I'm always thrilled to meet new listeners or new viewers, unless you're a rebrand. Maybe you just renamed yourself. And if you did, welcome back. I don't know. Nice to see you. I don't know. I never know. I just see these names pop up. John Temperin is here. Good to see you. Who else? Annie Manuel is here. Hiya, Annie. And Sinfully Wicked. Hello. Good to see you as well. Hope you're doing good. I said Rachel and John Temperin, Paranormal Paul. I'm just looking to see if I've missed anybody. Grateful Owl is here. How you doing? Good to see you. It's always wonderful when you guys keep coming back. Barbara Mora's here, and she's also over in Rumble, as is Dog Digger, or Digger Dog, whichever way you prefer it. But he's over there hanging out in the Rumble chat. And I'm just looking to see if there's any other names that have popped up here that I haven't already said hello to. There's Hardwick Big D. Good to see you, brother. Paranormal Paul. No, okay. He's just saying hi to Paranormal Paul. Gotcha. I thought you were saying, oh, there's Todd. Hey, portal. It's not a porthole, Todd. It's a portal. Portal. You must be a text listener. Tex's front porch just wrecked it. I love Tex. He's a good guy. Marstall is here. Good to see you, Marstall. And looking. Anybody new? Aussie Tip Rat. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I'm finally caught up to where I was, and now I got to catch up. Lulu Bell popped in. Good to see you. And just scrolling. Sherry's here. Good to see you, Sherry. Wonderful to see you. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for coming in. I've missed you. Hope the family's doing wonderful. I see the little man's growing up. It's crazy. How's that possible? I don't even know. But thanks for coming in tonight. And what do we got? Anyone new? Just scrolling. Deborah Neighbors came in. Good to see you, Deborah. And I don't know. Is that it? Is that everybody? Just Insane. How you doing? Wendy Studenheimer. Good to see you. Me. Of course, I couldn't forget you, Wendy. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. That's a good picture, too, I think. It's kind of small. Yeah, good picture. It's always neat to see what you guys look like. I mean, obviously, most of us use these, weird emojis and stuff, or pictures for our icons. But every once in a while, you guys show your pictures. It's like, oh, that's neat, and I can put a face to the name, kind of, even though they're like literally the size of a penny on my screen. But anyway, it's good to see all of you guys. I think that's all of us. So hey. Life is good. The portal is underway. Sheldon will be along eventually. God bless him. He promised. Oh, maybe he's here. No, wait, I hope that's not Sheldon. That's not how we want you coming here, Sheldon. No, get back in your body. That was a spiritual presence right on the bat. My photo is my everyday look. Well, Rachel, you're absolutely stunning, of course. You guys are all stunning. I love you all dearly. Yeah, well, already. Sheldon has powers. It's like, oh, Sheldon to be here. It's like, Jesus. Okay. Unless that's another Sheldon. I don't know. Yeah, he'll be here. He's tying up his work day and hustling in. So we'll catch up with Mr. Sheldon Thomas eventually when he shows up. But until then, we'll just wait patiently and talk about stuff like news, because the news is right around the corner, folks. We're going to be doing the news, and we are going to be doing as much as we can to bring you as much paranormal as I can pack into one episode. 2 hours, though. We got 2 hours of space to work with. We're also going to do, God, what else are we going to do? I got a bunch of stuff pulled up, but what are we going to do? Let's see. What is this? Nope, not that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Oh, that's a weird one. I remember I pulled this one up. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do this one. It's Phantoms and Monsters. I was watching Lon's stream earlier. Lon Strickler, of course, who is Mr. Phantoms and Monsters himself, was streaming. He does his live streams, folks, and he does them on Facebook. He does them on YouTube. And I'm not sure if he's covering other platforms or not, but I was just kicking back, prepping for tonight's show and listening to Lon talk about, it was about Bigfoot attacks and stuff like that tonight. And I thought, oh, that's really cool. And it's just fun to get it from Lon because, you know, he's the man that publishes all these various accounts on his site. And of course, I'm speaking of phantomsandmonsters.com. So if you haven't checked out Lon's stream, please do that. It is Phantoms and Monsters Radio. And, that is on YouTube as well, or on Facebook, wherever. You can follow Lon Strickler on Facebook, and he streams there as well. So it's just really cool. I like listening to Lon because he's one of those voices that have been in this arena for decades, literally decades, and he's just a wonderful person. So check out Phantoms and Monsters Radio on YouTube, and yeah, of course, Sasquatch. Sasquatches probably do taste good. They probably do. But at any rate, I still don't know. Uncaged Savage was, are you a rebrand, or are you someone that's been here before? I didn't see your response. I don't know. I'm just always curious because these new names pop up and it's fine either way. A bit bummed I missed the last episode, but I was tired. It's all right, Devin. You know what the beauty of it is you can go back and watch any episodes at your leisure. Or at your leisure. You can watch the episodes at your leisure. Because they are on demand on either Rumble or YouTube. And you can check them out when you do get a chance. So please feel free to do that. I think you can watch them for a while. Brent Rebanded. I've been gathering any words that start with un, like unfurled. How about unusual? Which is why you fit right in here, brother. Thanks for being here. All right, you're a rebrand. I gotcha. Great to have you here, whatever the case is. Try unusual next, though. That'd be a good unname. Unusual, unusual viewers. I don't know. We're all unusual, though. That's why we've all accumulated and come together here in the portal. So thank you all for being here. Too many podcasts. I can't watch them all, Digger Dog says. I understand, brother. I know, and it's you know, I mean, the problem is there's
biology.
It's a biology? Is it a biology thing? The ghost box now says biology. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure how that relates to what we're talking about, but the problem is that there's a lot of great podcasts out there, and it's hard to figure out which ones you're going to give your time to. Of course, I'm thrilled that you give your time to me whenever you can and tune in. Uncaged says, hey, Brent, great one. I appreciate it. Love you, brother Brent Thomas. He is awesome wealth of knowledge. Oh, well, I wish I knew a lot of things, Jason. I just have a lot of ideas. I have no idea if I'm right, but you know, I'm happy to share them with you. Jason F., I hope your dad recovers soon. Oh, what's going on with your dad? I had no idea. I'll just, pass my love on to you and your family if there's some problem. I'm sorry to hear that. Paranormal Portal podcast is amazing, fantastic, and appreciated. You are so awesome. I love the sport. I'm sorry not being able to watch all the shows because my dad, he is still in the hospital and trying to get better so he can come home. Well, our prayers and thoughts and, healing vibes and good energy to your family, your dad and all of you guys. I hope he makes a speedy recovery and gets back home. That's absolutely hard. Yeah, it's tough. So I hope he's okay, Jason, but give him our love. All right. Miss hearing the Halloween shows with you, Kev, in the news. Me too. I miss Kev Baker all the time. Kev was an amazing guy. He just did a Friday the 13th show a couple months ago, September, I think it was, with Naysay. And that was as close as we can get. I didn't reach out to Scotty. He's kind of off doing other things now, and I didn't know. I think Naysay's tried to reach out to him too, but it'd be great if we could get Scott and Naysay and myself at least to, do another Friday the 13th show on the next one. But if we can, we will. But Naysay came and did it with me last time. I think Sheldon was on here with us as well. So yeah, we miss Kev Baker. Kev was is a wonderful man, and whatever his adventure is now, I don't know. I hope he's looking down on all of us and spreading his love. Kev is an incredible guy. He was definitely one of my role models in developing how I do my shows. Because when I started, I had no experience whatsoever. So I had a few resources. Well, one of which was listening to Wes for years on Sasquatch Chronicles. But the others were like Chris Geo and Kev Baker and several other broadcasters. And I was like, oh, they're so comfortable. They're so good at what they do. And so I modeled a lot of what I do off of them. Obviously I have to be myself, but I learned a lot from those guys. And Kev was a dear friend. So have you ever done a show with Jeff Bellinger? No, I haven't. I would love to do a show with Jeff Bellinger. I've seen him on Hometown Ghost Stories with the guys before, and that's cool. I've never asked for his contact information, but I would love to do a show with Jeff Bellinger. He's a fascinating guy. So, thank you, Aussie Tiger. Well, if you meet him, Sinfully Wicked, you let him know that he should come on the portal. I'd love to talk with him. I don't even know if he knows who the Paranormal Portal is or what the Paranormal Portal is. But if he does, if he's interested, just have him reach out to me or get his emails for me to reach out to him. Thank you, Aussie. Let me know when your shirt comes too, Aussie. I know I think it's supposed to be on like the 14th or something for you. But anyway, I'm giving you your info and I'm going to corner Tenny. Yes, corner John Tenny. Damn it. I've reached out to him on Twitter or X a few times, and he just he's kind of doing his thing. I don't know. And maybe he gets bombarded. So anyway, I'm happy to talk with anybody really in the fields. There are so many wonderful people in these fields. So I appreciate that. But let's get to the news, and find out just what the hell I've got curated for your benefit tonight. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Some of it I pulled up on earlier on Wednesday, so I don't even remember what's there, but we're going to find out together. So here we go, folks. Hang on. We're going in. Hey, like a diamond. Like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Good to see you from Germany. Outstanding. Glad you're here. Nathan Nate, the only source to trust with hip movements. I got that in my head. Like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Like a diamond. I don't know. I like that song. I got it on my Spotify playlist. That's Rihanna. I like it. It's just kind of peppy and fun. Just like me. You guys were going, what the hell? I don't do drugs, just for the record, in case that's coming up in your mind. Like, what's wrong with this guy? No, this is it. This is how broken I really am. So, all right. And I'm not drunk either. So, just saying. All right. We got the news coming up, and I hope you guys are ready to be informed, because I'm going to do my best to inform you and entertain you and bring you maybe something you didn't already know. And if that's the case, then I guess, well done for all of us. I just want to say we utilize a lot of different sites on this show, and I really want to encourage you guys over and over again. I realize it gets really redundant, but please support these sites. These sites are incredible. These sites do an amazing job reporting, bringing articles out, bringing us new and amazing information that we can discuss. And please go visit these sites. There's so much more on all of these sites than we ever touch on this show. And I know you're into this stuff because you're here. So go check it out and give them your love if you would, please. But the first article is coming from an amazing site that we utilize on every news cycle of the show. And this site is called Unexplained-mysteries.com. This one's kind of weird. It's a brand new one I just pulled up. I don't know how many articles we'll get to. I've got several pulled up, but we'll probably get to 3 or 4 maybe. I don't know. This one's brand new. Well, it's from November 7th, but it was on top of the list when I looked. And this is from Unexplained-mysteries.com. I'm sure it's actually called Unexplained Mysteries, but I do like to pronounce the dash in there just in case somebody's listening and not really paying attention, but they're like, oh, what's that site? Because there is a dash in the URL, and probably because there's another Unexplained Mysteries out there. But anyway, check out this site. It's just so well done. So here's the first article. It comes from Creatures, Myths, and Legends. Unidentified creature captured on camera in Ritter Park, West Virginia. Any of you guys out in West Virginia, in that neighborhood? Hey, Isaac. Good to see you. Good to see you. I did say hello before, but I see Isaac said my name. Am I missing something? I'm just scrolling in the chat. It looks like he was trying to get my attention or something. Brad, hey. Oh, peace. Peace to you, brother. Oops, put you on screen. Oh, yeah, Sheldon's thing is up right now. I should probably close that. We don't need that open. All right, here we go. This is it. Oh, Chucky's he's multitasking. He's got a new alien investigation show on Netflix on in the background. Well, let's see who you pay attention to. All right, here we go. Unidentified creature captured on camera in Ritter Park, West Virginia. So any of you out there? I don't know. Well, if you are, you might have seen this or you might not. Interestingly enough, it looks like there's something else back there, like maybe a horse or something. I don't know. It says Brittany Keller had been driving through the park recently when she spotted something she'd never seen there before. Footage of the sighting, which was recorded on October 24th, shows a small 4-legged animal with a pointy face, a long tail, prompting some heated debate over what species it could possibly be. Sorry, Mike, got some thick spit mouth. Hold on. Much better. Yeah, there it is. There's a picture of it. I don't know. What the hell is that? That is odd. But let's see what it says. Keller, who'd been driving to work at the time, couldn't believe what she was seeing when the mystery creature appeared next to a herd of deer at the side of the road. I realized it was something that I had never seen before, she told WSAZ. I guess that's a news channel. The mystery would go on to generate a great deal of interest on social media, with some users suggesting the animal could be a type of lemur, a species native to the island of Madagascar, which is situated some 9,000 miles away off the coast of Africa. Wildlife expert Andy McKee, however, believes that the most likely explanation is, there we go with mange again. Yeah, it's always mange. Something new comes up, it's mange. Is that the mystery creature is a fox with mange. A type of contagious skin disease known to affect some types of wild animals. This explanation would certainly make more sense than a lemur, but without capturing the creature, it may be impossible to confirm exactly what type of animal this is. You can check out the local news report about the sighting, and by God we will, because we are doing news And this is news, and this is from the WSAZ3 YouTube channel. So let's check this out.
Anyone with kids in their house would probably recognize King Julian, the ring-tailed lemur from the movie Madagascar.
But would you recognize him in your local park? A woman on her way to work in Huntington spotted a strange-looking creature in Ritter Park and caught it on camera.
Oh my gosh. But really, what is that?
I don't know.
Brittany Keller has a real mystery on her hands.
Oh my God.
Passing through Ritter Park Thursday morning on her way to work at Cabell Huntington Hospital, Brittany spotted a small herd of deer and this.
And then whenever I stopped to take a better look, I realized that it was something I've never seen around here before.
Brittany posted a video on Facebook, and several replies pointed toward a possible lemur sighting, but that would be a long way from home.
Lemurs are from Madagascar, on the island. So this would be
just like the movie.
Right, just like the movie, yeah. So it would be very, very odd that there would be a lemur out in this area unless it was somebody's.
It'd be very odd if there was a lemur in West Virginia. Oh, really? Yeah, I guess so. I guess that would be odd. Okay. Let's continue.
Pet.
This doesn't appear to be any kind of trick-or-treat prank.
From a nightmare.
Although it is somewhat frightening.
She doesn't like it at all, do you? No.
It's scary.
I mean, the video does sort of give off a Bigfoot Sasquatch kind of vibe. Still, animal experts here are canceling.
Why does that give off a Bigfoot Sasquatch vibe? I'm just curious. It doesn't look anything like Bigfoot. I don't know. I don't know where they get this from. Let's continue because, by God, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
The mystery.
It looked more like a fox with mange or some sort of issue than a lemur.
But, believers got to believe in something.
I mean, it's definitely a lion cub. I'm going with that. That's my answer.
There's really
a lion cub. Yeah, we can. I guess we can probably close out this article knowing that she's not a biologist. It's not a lion cub. Anyway,
really only one last question.
Do you know what the fox says?
Oh, whatever.
Ring ding ding da ding da ding.
All right, I'm not gonna give that. I mean, what a dumb way to end the interview. Hey, what does the fox say? It says, "Shut the hell up and do your job. You're a reporter, not a comedian." Huh? Well, there you go. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't think that's a fox head. I think it's got too much of a curvature here. Foxes have a very deliberate angle to their face down to a point. They have real small front jowls, but it gets bigger in the back. But I don't buy that this is a fox. I don't think that's what we're looking at. I don't pretend to know what it is we're looking at, but it's just such an easy out for these biologists. It's like, oh, well, it's some kind of mange. Like, okay, the size of a fox must be mange. The end. I mean, they don't know. And clearly they don't know. And that's okay if they would just say that, not like, well, it's most likely a fox with mange. It's based on what? The fact that it doesn't have a long bushy tail and it may be about fox size. That's not giving you a whole lot to work with. And I don't think that's the facial profile of a fox. I mean, I'm not a fox expert. I'm not a biologist either. But I think that this arch in its back is gotta indicate something. I mean, that's not fox-like either. I've seen fox a bunch because back in Minnesota there was a fox that basically was not afraid of me and would eat right out of my hand, and I saw it daily for a number of months and over the course of a couple of years. Maybe it's an ocelot. I don't think an ocelot is more feline as well. And I don't think this is a feline at all. That's more of a canid type of jowl. Felines tend to have more of a flattened snout with, I mean, they have huge mouths, but they don't have this elongated type of snout. I don't know what it is, but I don't think that's jumping to, it's a mangy fox. That to me doesn't make sense because they don't have anything to work with. So I don't know. I guess, they want to assuage the fears of the public, maybe that there's some strange animal out there, but come on, this thing's just north of a squirrel as far as size. It's about the size of a house cat, small dog. Yeah, it's probably not going to terrorize families. Nobody wants to get bit by some, animal, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to be acting weird or aggressive. I'm not sure if mange is just more of an irritation or if it's I don't know, has some neurological issues as well. I don't know what it does to animals, but it sounds like it really screws them up. But anyway, they have no idea. They're just saying fox because they have absolutely no idea, but don't want to admit they don't know. Exactly. It's a Sphinx cat. That's not a human face on there at all. Not at all. I'm just kidding. Well, even the Sphinx cats don't have these elongated snouts. So, and I know you're just being funny, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, you heard it here, and I guess if any updates come that I see, I'll be sure to feature those on our news as well. But that's the first story tonight. But wait, there's more. I've got more for you. And let's get to that now. The next article is also from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this one's kind of a weird one from the Archaeology and History Files. I didn't look at how long any of these are, so I should probably check that. No, this is doable. So from unexplained-mysteries.com comes our second article. And this one is mystery surrounds skeleton made up of the bones from 5 different people. It's a homunculus. I'm just kidding. I don't think it really is, but that's weird. A skeleton unearthed in a small town in Belgium over 40 years ago has become the center of a long and enduring mystery. When archaeologists first discovered skeletal remains in the town of Pomerol in southern Belgium back in the 1970s, they initially assumed that it was a Roman burial dating back to around 1700 years. And this would seem to have been the end of the matter, but then in 2019, efforts to radiocarbon date the skeleton revealed something extraordinary that nobody could have expected. While the skull did indeed date back to the Roman era, the other bones were not Roman at all. Ooh. Not only did it turn out that these other bones were from entirely different periods in time, but it was also determined that they had belonged to no fewer than 5 different individuals. Someone, it seemed, had put this skeleton together like a macabre jigsaw puzzle. According to archaeologists, the study lead author Barbara Veselka, it is likely that the skeleton had been revisited and perhaps even added to over an extended period of time, and there were other bones scattered around the individual, suggesting that people could have also come back to the burial. Clearly, she told Live Science. But why would someone do something like this? In all likelihood, researchers argue superstition likely had a lot to do with it. Disturbance of the burial may have necessitated reparations through the completion or construction of an individual with agency in the afterlife, said Veselka. A second possibility is that the entire individual was assembled during a Gallo-Roman period, combining locally sourced Neolithic bones with Roman period cranium. Yeah, but still, why? Why? That's weird. So, I don't know. It's like somebody tried a Frankenstein and it didn't work. I don't know. That's strange. Could it have been? What if it was somebody's attempt at I almost said necrophilia, and that's not what I mean. I mean necromancy. I don't know. That's strange. Very, very strange.
Or an ancient example of Frankenstein.
Right. Except that would be long before Frankenstein was ever thought up.
Frankenstein's monster. My bad.
No, I know. Mary Shelley I think she wrote that in the 1800s. And this
Yes.
would have been from the 1700 years ago.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah, but it's almost like somebody had tried to piece together a body. And what if they did? What if they were trying to reanimate it through magical means or something like that? That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Ooh.
You know, like trying some necromancy. That's not a new concept. That's as old as culture. There's the idea of there being wicked souls who could reanimate the dead, which was known as necromancy. I mean,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's strange, very, very strange. But who can say? Yeah, I don't know. What do you, lich lord? Chucky says, it's a lich or a lech. The Lech King. I don't know. Necromancy, where you can dancey and then get necro fucked up. Eric Fry, what is wrong with you?
What?
Eric always comes from deep left on these things. Sinfully Wicked says, howdy, Sheldon.
Howdy.
Good to see you. I guess I could put you on screen now. So I don't know. What do you think, folks? Maybe that was somebody's attempt to create living dead. Maybe. What do you think, Sheldon?
Maybe.
I'm just
maybe. I mean, I also like their idea of like kind of preserving the body as best they can so that in the afterlife they're not missing limbs or something. I mean,
Sure.
they would even wasn't that in the Roman culture they would put gold coins in the eyes so they had, money for the ferry, type of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So like
I think
maybe
it was
they thought
Sharon.
like, oh, they died without a leg. We need to
Yep.
give them a leg,
Yeah, you got to have 2 coins to pay the ferryman
Yeah,
to cross the river Styx.
that's right.
Yep, that would have been a very Roman idea, but they didn't talk about finding any coins. So interesting though. Interesting stuff. But that's the second article. And we got more. But wait, there is more.
There is.
There's always more, Sheldon. How'd your day go, by the way?
Oh, good. I mean, it's Friday. Like I always say, I can't complain on a Friday.
Well, you could, but nobody give a crap. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, everybody. At least it's a Friday for you. And for those of you that still have to work through the weekend, my apologies. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Jason Finch says, good evening. Are you watching the chat? I guess you can respond yourself, but.
I can respond myself. You're
Okay.
right.
All right. Here's one from Ghosts and Hauntings of unexplained-mysteries.com. Now, I don't know where the hell anybody could come up with this summation, but I'm going to read it to you anyway, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But here it is, an article from November 3rd, 2024. Ghosts may die after a lifespan of 100 years, researcher claims. Who the hell could know that? Oh, thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, Elaine.
Woo! Elaine remembered. Thank you.
You made it, Elaine. You did it. It's the weekend now.
Well, it is the weekend. All right, so I don't know how anybody could come to this conclusion based upon what? That ghosts die after a lifespan of 100 years? Let's see what it says. I'm just so curious now. Oh, it's not too bad. All right. Brian Sterling Veet, I guess that's how you'd say it, Veti or Veet, I don't know, maintains that intelligent paranormal entities may actually have a limited lifespan. Based on what, Brian?
Exactly.
Do ghosts live forever? Well, it seems strange to suggest that something thought of as a disembodied spirit of a dead person can itself die after a certain amount of time. Such a possibility has been gaining traction where? Where's it been gaining traction? Literally, in recent years among some paranormal researchers. Never heard of this before.
Never heard this. What?
One of these is Brian Sterling Veti, a veteran enthusiast of all things supernatural who has spent a considerable amount of time analyzing data collected from various paranormal investigations. Still doesn't mean he knows anything. According to his findings, sightings of famous ghosts in allegedly haunted locations around the world are occurring less and less frequently, especially those that have been around for 100 years or more. When all the data is considered, it's quite a shock to think that many of our once famous ghosts could be literally dying, he said. There's absolutely no basis for that assessment of a haunting that has kind of faded. That doesn't mean that the ghost is dead. It was apparent that famous ghosts in once notably haunted locations were being seen increasingly less frequently, and some had not been seen in many years. Our research suggests that sentient ghosts seems to have a limited lifespan, just like living humans. I don't agree. In simple terms, the second law of thermodynamics tells us that energy tends to disperse and degrade over time, and I would argue that our findings show ghosts do conform to the second law of thermodynamics as they appear to run out of energy. No, it just changes form. It doesn't disperse. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It changes form. It may have changed into a different vibrational level just because time. It may be, there may be a quantum element to this in that formerly famous people are not necessarily currently famous people. In other words, like Elvis, the name Elvis, while it will always be an iconic name, doesn't have the emotional attachment that it once did to generations prior and generations that are now disappearing. So is there potentially a quantum entanglement element to experiencing hauntings that, again, we as observers may be creating part of the experience, or at least creating the quantum bridge for that experience to happen. And as these figures fade into more obscurity or into a historical footnote, there's not that same emotional attachment that people had. And that may be the difference between active hauntings currently or less active hauntings currently based upon a historical figure. We don't have the emotional attachment to them. Like a lot of kids today are probably not familiar with the name of Elvis other than knowing that he was somebody that kind of pioneered rock and roll or was a big figure in that. But they don't have the emotional, like, oh my God, he's so much passion and heart and he was so dynamic and cutting edge. And it reshaped our world in a lot of ways, and at least in entertainment. And now he's just a footnote. So maybe the ghost of Elvis would be less experienced because there's not that same emotional draw or attachment that creates that, I don't know, like a bridge or something, quantum entanglement of some sort. I don't know. But anyway, I'll continue. If ghosts do exist, could they really have a limited lifespan? If so, what happens when they die a second time? Could the mere possibility of something like this suggest that ghosts are in fact not necessarily dead or alive, but something else? The search for answers continues. That's possible. That last paragraph.
That is the only part that I agree with, is that last section. Maybe they change form, they change energy, they change dimensions, whatever. But saying that they die, they just cease, boom, done. No, come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is there any death? Well, probably not. Not in our traditional understanding of something just ceasing to exist on any level. It's just the end, like a light switch going off.
No, come on.
So, I mean, there is that, but I don't know. I think it's a sensational way to frame a theory that, certainly hauntings probably dissipate, but there's still hauntings reported at Pompeii, which is ancient Greek times, from Vesuvius and stuff. So, the eruption of Vesuvius, they still capture apparitions wandering through those ruins. And I mean, they're obviously still around, and that's thousands of years. So what is going on here? Well,
also, I have to thank Saint Sinfully Wicked for the gifted membership.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Yes.
Thank you, Sinfully Wicked.
But I mean, I'm curious what do they mean by gaining traction here? What do you mean?
I don't know. Well, I don't mind the idea of people sharing ideas and thoughts, but I think to jump to any kind of conclusions is very, very, very premature and even ridiculous, to the point of ridiculousness, because we can't possibly know. Now, is there merit to say that, yeah, hauntings may die down over a period of time? Sure. That makes perfect sense. But it doesn't suggest a death. It doesn't suggest that, their energy just was reabsorbed into the natural world around them. They could only hold that form for a short period of time. Well, I think that's, if anything, they probably just transition, because if there are earthbound spirits of formerly living people, they probably work their stuff out at some point and do transition to a higher vibration, that it's not, they died again, poor things. What happens to them now? Well, I think maybe they just go home. So it just takes some longer to go home than others. So, like my dad, for instance, he was very active in my mom's house for maybe up to a year. It might have been even up to a year or so. But then the activities kind of just melted away. Like, it doesn't mean he died again. It just means that he probably just finally went home completely. He finally maybe just released his attachment to this world and went on. So, interesting.
It's kind of like you said, it's so weird to be jumping to any sort of conclusion when we have zero, not even close to a number of way to measure anything close to this.
Yeah, there's nothing is quantifiable at this point, other than we think we understand some basics, like, ghosts appear to affect the EM field. That doesn't mean ghosts are electromagnetic, but something about their presence disrupts the EM fields. And I think that that's more accurate. However, most people would say, we believe ghosts are pockets of electromagnetic energy. It's like, no, because then they would always, then they would be subject to magnetism and things like that. But that doesn't make sense. But I think that whatever energy they are is interacting with the electromagnetic fields that are naturally around us. So, and we pick that up as a disruption, kind of like a boat isn't made out of water, but it disrupts the water around it. And I think that's very much what happens. This is my own personal theory. I didn't read this somewhere, but I've just thought that there's nothing to suggest that ghosts are electromagnetic energy. But whatever they are, whatever energy that they do exist as, or, whatever vibrational element or whatever, that does disrupt the electromagnetic fields around them. So that's a huge distinction, though. We can utilize EM detectors to, potentially see where ghosts are or aren't, but that doesn't mean that we can just figure out how to trap electromagnetic energy and boom, we've got a ghost trap, like Ghostbusters. So I don't know what you guys think of that, but that's my own theory. I've not really talked about that too much publicly, but that's one of my pocket theories, I guess.
Yeah.
I got a whole pocket full of theories, but I don't claim to be an expert or even a seasoned researcher or whatever. I just, my ideas could be absolutely ridiculous as well, but I don't know. I'm not drawing any firm conclusions either. All right, one more to go maybe I'll save this one for next. I think I will. I'll save the next one for tomorrow night. So I think, Sheldon, therefore I am. I think we are going to go back to the rest of the show. This has been a production of the Paranormal Portal News. Let's get back to the rest of the show. Cue the music. All right, folks. Wonderful questions in the chat there.
I thought about that same thing.
Maybe the so-called ghost realm is just another formed school to learn the way some view Earth to be, and also elevate higher level as we evolve spiritually. Random thoughts, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that's that's why we're here, is to learn, and I'm sure that's what we'll continue to do after this. The unknown says, is our ghost real? Well, I guess it kind of depends on how do you define something being real or not. is because some people would define real as something tangible, like this pen. This is very real. I can touch it. I can manipulate it. I can use it or not use it, and I can set it down and find it where I left it. So then it must be real. But maybe ghosts have a different kind of reality. I think they're energetically real. I think they're energetically intelligent. I think they're aware of what's going on around them. But they're just they probably couldn't be quantified as quote unquote real, because naturally, or at least for most of us, some people do, but most of us don't seem to have the tools to observe them regularly. They either choose to be observed by us, or they choose not to. They seem to be largely in control of that, at least on some level. I do think that the observer is an intrinsic part of that, and we disempower ourselves by not acknowledging that. But because I think that there's, again, some kind of quantum entanglement or quantum bridge that's created to have an experience. And then it could be shock, fear, or any other number of things that maybe bring you out of that state. And that's why apparitions fade away and disappear, because we've broken that connection somehow. Maybe it's not them just going, ooh, I'm here. No, I'm not. Oh, I'm here. No, I'm not. Maybe it's us that's our perception is shifting based upon a lot of factors, emotional, psychological issues that might reflect in the present moment of seeing a spirit. You're certainly at a point of surprise, maybe shock, maybe fear, and that's going to pull you out of whatever state you're in to perceive it. So
I like Chucky's question here. What if ghosts are us observing our past lives through space and time?
What if ghosts are us observing our past lives through space and time? Huh. It could be. I wouldn't even know. Yeah, for sure. That could be possible. I don't know if that's always the case, but I do believe it could be some kind of a spiritual connection to these presences to some degree or another. I don't know.
That would kind of make sense, because the trickster ghosts that I encounter once in a while, I would so do that to myself. I would find it funny.
So screw with myself.
It could be.
Yeah, it could be. It's hard to know. Oh, I didn't see the question of the week yet. I haven't looked at it yet, Andy. But Chucky, and that'll be tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. So for those of you that want to get involved in the question of the week, you can join the Discord by the link in the description, or and if you do, you can weigh in on the question of the week. It's open to everybody. Just let us know what you think.
Or
Rachel,
just link in the chat.
Yeah, Sheldon put it in the chat. Rachel says, if scientists don't research it, then ghosts could be an unknown energy that has always existed in the universe. If it's not examined, then it doesn't exist. Well, sure, in the minds of science, you're absolutely right. Yep. Everything that science hasn't established then is just fantasy.
Technically, yeah. I suppose so.
Yep. And Devin said, I've heard stories that ghosts seem to repeat patterns of their life before they died, similar to how we have our daily routines. Could be. I certainly would say that would be the case in a residual haunting, where it was more of a recording than an actual intelligent presence. But it's possible that, their life rituals were important to them. And I don't mean ritual in a spiritual way. I just mean that, like, every morning I get up and sit on the porch and look at the sunrise, and that's my everyday ritual. Well, if somebody passed away, but they were still emotionally attached to that part of their life, then they could appear on a porch watching the sun come up every day. It could be just something that they repeat. And just because a spirit has passed on doesn't mean it couldn't still come back and visit. I don't think, I mean, it's not all or nothing. Like, if you see a ghost, it's earthbound presence. It's not, or, could possibly not be human. But, if people have gone into the next world, I think that they have a whole lot of freedom to come and go as they please. I believe. Now, what do I base that on? Nothing other than my gut. I don't have any way to substantiate that in any measure. So it's just an idea. But I like that idea. I like the idea that, hey, you can still visit those you love. You can still be a part of their world. And I think that's beautiful. So
Yeah, it kind of goes into Unknown's question. Why don't deceased loved ones say hi and let us know they are okay? I think, on what he means is on a regular basis. Like, why doesn't everyone experience that?
Well, and the thing is why doesn't everybody experience any ghosts? Well, some people just are so drilled into their life and their routine that their blinders are up. Some people just don't have the sensitivity. I do think that they do, though. And it might be as silly as just a song that comes on just at a point when you're reflecting, and it's the song that reminds you of them. Could be a smell. I mean, they're not going to come up and go, hey, guess you got a beer? I'm stopping in. What's going on? What you been up to? But they have a limited way to be able to reach through and make contact, and some of which I think they do with things like smells, like a smell that'll just come up and be like, God, that brings back memories. And then it takes you to a moment that may have involved that person, or at least a place where they were also, and you were there, or something. I mean, they may do things around you all the time, and you don't. A lot of times they're so subtle, it's hard to know. But I think that they do probably, but they may do it in our dreams, and we may not remember those dreams all the time, or even most of the time. But they may come and visit us in our dreams, and we may wake up and not even be aware that we had that dream, but it doesn't mean it wasn't real. Now, I've had several dreams where I encountered loved ones that have passed, and they were so real, so incredibly powerful and vivid, and I was there. I mean, it was more there than I'm here right now. It was just so powerful that I mean, could I be deluded? Sure, maybe, but I don't think so. Because I just, as a rule, don't remember my dreams. I might remember just little fragments every once in a while, but I can remember how these started and ended. And there's only a certain number of dreams in my entire life of all these years that I can say that I remember the whole dream. And those are definitely among them. There's a few other dreams that were incredibly wild that took me on journeys, like almost lifetimes. It was crazy. And it was, just a matter of waking up going, oh, wow, I'm not, I thought it'd be like 80 years later or something.
Yeah.
Because
those dreams are fascinating.
Yeah, where you like go through lifetimes. But yeah, I think that spirits just only have a certain amount of options to make themselves known. It might be a sound, it might be a smell, it might be just all of a sudden you just out of the blue think of someone that you love that has passed. That could be them telepathically reaching to you and making that connection. And so you think it's a random thought that just popped up, but maybe they helped you come to that place just so you can remember them, and they can, in a sense, come together with you. My husband never remembers dreams and never met my father, but he dreamed that my dad came to him before we got married and warned him he better treat me good. Amen. Now that's a dad. That's a dad. Shows up. Even death couldn't keep him away from going, hey, you messed with my daughter. I'm coming for you. I showed hubby a pic, and he was freaked out and said, that's him. That's really cool. That's an amazing story. Ever hear the theory that dreams could be our consciousness experience other dimensions? Yeah,
yes.
I did come to that conclusion on my own, but I'm really thrilled that other people have as well. I think that dreams are one of the proofs to show that we are multidimensional beings. We just are so uber focused on this experience of the many experiences we're involved in that we think that we're just here. But I think we are in all different kinds of experiences at once, different lifetimes.
Yeah. I once had a dream that lasted 3 days. Like literally, like in the dream, I went to sleep, woke up, kept doing what I was doing, and then went to sleep. And then, it was a 3-day dream. I was like in shock when I woke up. I'm like, oh my God, I was there for so long.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh. That's wild. Were you or were you someone else? I mean, just curious.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but it felt like I wasn't me.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was weird though.
What was
completely different setting?
Was it the same timeline though? Was it the same timeline, like current day, or did it seem like a different timeline?
No, it seemed like a long time ago type of thing.
Well, there you go. Yeah, you could have been experiencing another version of you in the multiverse in a different timeline.
Yep. Ben, God, it was a long dream.
Yeah. Does dreaming of something mean anything? It could. I've had nonsense dreams. When I was a kid, I had a dream of Frankenstein and Dracula making toast in the kitchen, and it scared the hell out of me. But I don't think it meant anything. But I've also had a lot of really silly dreams. But I've had some profound dreams. I don't know. I guess that's a pretty personal assessment you'll have to make based on your dreams.
Sorry. I want to do a survey because I'm so curious.
Okay.
I've been curious about this for a long time.
Okay.
Has anyone experienced pain in a dream? Like intense pain? Not like you woke up like, oh my God, my back hurts, but like for me, example, it did happen. Like I had a dream once when I was younger that like a zombie was literally eating me.
Oh.
And I felt every bite. Like it hurt intensely.
Oh God. You used to love zombie movies too. I just never understood that.
It's probably where the dreams came from.
Kind of serves
like I
you
actually
right.
felt the pain. It wasn't like okay, I'm just gonna die now and I'll wake up. It was like, oh my God, I'm not waking up.
Yeah, that would suck. So you're getting several yeses in there. Sinfully Wicked,
Okay.
Eric Walker, emotional pain. Yes, yeah, I've felt the emotional stuff. I felt the physical though too. I have experienced that. I have pain in my dreams. Barbara says I was dreaming of being shot and felt the burning sensation. Sinfully Wicked. Wow. Phil Funk. One time I had a dream my friend's dog had passed away months before, and she told me to tell him she was okay. When I did, he broke down and said he always wanted to know. Oh, that's beautiful, Phil. Yeah, very cool. Like heartache. No, he's talking about physical pain, but heartache, would certainly be a different kind of pain. And I think we all have woke up crying from dreams, from the emotional pain of them. Felt the pain of my ribs being squeezed on the sides. Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. I had to use Jesus to get out of one. Wow. Yeah. Calling on the name of Jesus or on religious symbolism is very, very powerful. I used to be a firefighter. I had a dream where I was pinned and felt myself burn. That was reoccurring, and that scared me. Wow, Eric.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be a horrible thing.
Okay. I knew some people, it's like, I've never felt pain in my dream. Like, wait, what? I wasn't sure if this was a normal thing or not, so I had to ask.
I have, but I also haven't. Like there was the dream loop that I was in that I told you when it was years and years ago, when I was really being tormented by what I think was a very dark presence that was just tormenting me. And it literally lasted about a decade, but it was that dream where I kept, being at this fireside across from this friend of mine who was much older, but he was a great guy. But he was looking at me with this really sadistic eyes that weren't his and looking at me with this evil grimace. And he was just sitting there and I was just sitting there and laying before me as we're sitting like pretzel legged on the ground in front of this campfire. And it's all darkness around, was this big knife. And I didn't do it, but my body did it, grabbed the knife like I was being controlled and ended up, cutting myself, which was absolutely horrifying. And then until in my dream, I fell over dead. And then I went and woke up, but I was still sitting by the fire and he was right across from him. And it did the same thing. It picked up that knife and did it again until I fell over dead. I mean, everything went black and I was done. And then shocked again. And it went on and on and on and on and on. I swear to God that I must have had to endure that literally about 20 or more times. And it was just trying so hard to break me. And it was horrifying, but I didn't feel the pain. What I did feel was the cold and the warmth of the fluids coming out and the cold of that steel. But I didn't feel pain. So
wow,
that was horrifying. That was brutal, but it didn't work. I'm not broken yet. I don't think. I mean, I don't think, I mean, of course I'm broken a little bit. Everybody is, and sometimes more than others. Who are the strangers in our dreams? It's a great question. I don't know. Could be guides, could be people from other lives that we've experienced. Who knows? It's hard to say. That's a great question. I fell asleep listening to Art Bell, so I was hanging out with him, chatting. Oh, that's cool. Then my boyfriend was kissing me in my sleep, and guess what Art Bell was doing? Oh, Art, hey! I often wonder when I have dreams of people, I don't know if it is a spirit from an investigation. That's could be. It's hard to say. Have you helped to release people? Have you helped to free them from being stuck? Maybe they're coming back to thank you or whatever. Strangers could be people you see in the street. Your subconscious remembers everything. Well, certainly there's that too. You know, of course, I mean, some dreams really are our mind just sorting through subconscious garbage. I mean, I don't think that every dream is profound and real, but that was pretty profound. So anyway, there we go. Interesting stuff. We ended up talking about dreams. That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
That is cool. Well, you know what? I think we should get to some cryptids. I thought I was going to do another article first, though, but let me look. Yeah, I'll do this one tomorrow. It's kind of longer. I'll do this one tomorrow because I think it'll take up too much time. I got no time. Hey, guys.
The time.
I got time. Nah, Kenny, that's my papa. Sorry. Wasn't that guy that played the guitar hilarious, though?
Yes. Nailed it.
He nailed it. Yeah, he did. Yep. All right. Well, I think we'll just get to some cryptids. Are you guys ready for some creatures and cryptids and other strangeness? Because we got some.
I know Grandizer is.
Oh, it's Grandizer in here. Well, guess what, Grandizer? You came on the right night, sir, and at the right time. Because it is time for... the Cryptid Corner. It's time for the cryptids. Yeah, hairball. All right.
Cat?
What?
That's what you cat?
Yeah, well, I got cats everywhere. You know that.
Hardwick Big D!
Remembered! Woo! Thank you, Hardwick. Appreciate it. I'm probably going to have to pull up some more articles as we go, though. I thought I had more open here, but I really didn't have as many as I thought. So we're going to have to pull up some on the fly after I sneeze. Woo, that was a good one.
Hot shoe.
It was all kinds of hot shoe. Woof. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cryptid Corner. This is where we talk about all the creatures and beings that seem to surround us in our world. They kind of lurk in the shadows and they maybe stalk us. Maybe they're just watching. Maybe they're just curious. But whatever they are, they're out there. So Grandizer said, thanks, Sheldon. And so here we go. We're going to start our journey with our good friend, Mr. Wes Germer's Sasquatch Chronicles, and dig into what looks like some kind of dogman or some canid type of cryptid by the title. But let's get to that now. Are you ready, Sheldon?
Always.
Always ready. Well, then hang on. We're going in. Because here we go. This is SasquatchChronicles.com from November 3rd. Ooh. A coyote-looking creature stood up and ran on two legs. Oof. That's got to be kind of creepy. A listener writes, "Hi, Wes. I just wanted to tell you my brother Chris in Eskridge caught some funky, nearly electronic-sounding growls on the audio recorder of his security camera this week. Also, this former non-believer caught a glimpse of what he thinks was Dogman, a quick black flash. And he thinks he can get it with his compound bow and shot into the branches of a tree at something black and never found his arrow. Yeah, I mean, a compound bow arrow can go forever. Also, I spoke with 19-year-old Aiden, who lives in Eskridge, and he said he knows of a handful of high school students who saw a coyote stand up and run away on two legs. I asked him if they said anything about its height, and he measured about 5 feet from the ground with his outstretched arm. I think it was last year or the year before. Eskridge is about 8 or 9 miles from Lake Wabounsie, where I had... Oh, I'm surrounded. See that?
Yeah, they didn't like how you pronounce that.
I'm sorry, I didn't know how to pronounce Wabounsie. That's what it looks like, though, where I had the scream, tree break, and a stick structure placed in front of my car while camping at a lake. Like a gift or a warning, I'm not sure. God, I wish he'd had a picture of that structure, though.
Oh, yeah, come on. They could have. Oh.
Yeah, you'd think he'd take a photo of it. But anyway, I just want to see this. Ron S. says, if you see a coyote running on two legs, you got to know at that point it's likely not natural or has some serious injury or deformity. Yeah, but probably not for a coyote running on two legs.
Yeah.
If not the latter, it's something obviously trying to freak you out, thriving off your fear, or show off by showing you how unnatural it and life really can be. I think it's funny how I've never heard of Yoti Man, Koi Man, or whatever you want to call these things, and now these stories are popping up. Is Dogman experiencing shrinkage? Oh, I see what he says. Yoti and Koi Man, like a Coyote Man. What if belief truly has spiritual power to the point of non-belief or little belief? Or even if a belief in something else takes that entity's power away? Kind of makes sense why certain narratives would seem to get pushed awfully hard on certain unexplained phenomena at times while trying to simultaneously take away belief in other more positive things. If this it says this dog boy creature appearance doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless this is a warning by way of reflection of self or manifested. The fastest animal on the planet runs on 4 legs. Running on 2 when you have 4 is just kind of ridiculously awkward and not very smart. Strictly a fear-based encounter if it's real. And for what reason would something, if not natural, appear as an animal before people hunt? Was it forced by a higher power? Is this likely like an entry-level cryptid? I don't know. Some of these one-off or more rare sightings of different creatures never seem to get a foothold for any length of time, and I'm not sure if the fantastic Mr. Fox will either. It's interesting, though. Wow, he's got a lot to say. Not saying this is made up, but what if maybe in the future people will just be making up tons of stories with all kinds of different creatures just for the sake of money. I think that already happens, though. Attention, or because they think it's funny, and then you'll have such a pile of stupid fake creatures eventually mixed in with actual sightings that maybe the belief in any of it will just diminish, and also the power for the real ones to reoccur or interact powerfully in our realm, kind of like trying to find factual information on the internet without finding the truth first because of all the trash mixed in and other nonsense added. It then takes power away from the truth because you believe the first off bit of info that popped up first and it was easier to find. And that's why people are suckers. Well, there you go. I mean, and what he's saying is fair enough, Ron S. I think he's got a good point, but 5 feet is pretty small. But there's also the issue that these things don't come out. I mean, that it's very possible that they are born and grow into the monsters that are eventually seen, but in the meantime, it doesn't mean they're not here, that there isn't adolescent dogmen or something more like, toddler sized or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Rachel said, was there any evidence of a box labeled Acme?
I didn't hear any in there. No. I'd love to have seen the picture of the structure, though. That would have been nice.
Yeah, I think that what that guy seems very fair, because I think there really is some like really well written stories out there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure.
That's too bad.
All right, we're going to go to Phantoms and Monsters again, and I talked about Lon's show earlier. I was listening to it as I was prepping for my show, and Lon was doing a fantastic job talking about Bigfoot attacks and also talking about how he doesn't think that they are trying to be doing harm. They're just, it just seems more intimidation. I think most of us that are have looked into the phenomena have come to that conclusion as well, because if they wanted people dead, people would be dead. These things are so much bigger and more powerful and adept and capable than we are, especially in a physical sense. So if they wanted you dead, you'd be dead. But they don't seem to want that. But anyway, we're going to visit Lon's site now, which is phantomsandmonsters.com. And this is truly one of the pulses of the paranormal. And Lon does an amazing job. Please support his site. Please visit it and check it out. You won't be disappointed. There are so many amazing stories there that Lon posts every day. He's posting several new ones every day. And it's just fantastic. You can find information on Lon's books. You can find information about the research efforts that he is a part of across the nation, looking into like Bigfoot, Dogman, and Mothman, and more. So lots that Lon has going on. And he's been a guest on the show a few times, and I got to get him back again soon. So check out phantomsandmonsters.com. Check out Lon's YouTube page, Phantoms and Monsters Radio, which is also a podcast. So look into it. All right, here we go from November 1st, 2024, video with photos. Shape-shifting goblin attacks and injures Argentinian farm worker. Yikes. I thought we covered this, didn't I?
Goblin.
I thought we did. Isn't this where a young worker on night like any farm the young man? Yeah, I did this one already.
Oh.
Yeah, this isn't going to work. We already did this one. It was kind of like some shadowy thing that kind of attacked him and pulled him off of his truck or whatever, and he was trying to get back on his tractor after peeing, and then he got attacked by something, and then other people came and but other people have apparently seen this thing. So
wow.
But we did read this, unfortunately, so that means I got to find more stuff to read. What else did I have pulled up? Well, let's find out. Werewolf-like creature from October 27th. Werewolf-like creature attacked livestock on Filipino island. Was it an Aswang? Now, yeah, the Aswang I thought was more of like a bat-like vampire thing, but I might be wrong. At any rate, this is from the Philippines, of course, Southeast Asia, in the islands. So let's check it out. Check out about the Aswang. In 2014, the Filipino press reported that a werewolf-like creature had been attacking livestock on the island of Sabali. Could this have been an Aswang, described in local folklore as a flesh-eating shapeshifter? Okay. Here it is. Manila, blood-sucking creatures are devastating livestock herds in the island of Sabali. Residents are at a loss over what vicious animal would leave only carcasses of its prey after feasting on them. An article published recently by the Manila Standard today said farmers are becoming increasingly fearful of the creature, which strikes when the moon is full, sucks the blood of its prey, and tears off the limbs of the livestock, such as goats. It is a continuing goat massacre happening at the onset of the full moon almost every year since 2012. So far, more than 200 goats have been massacred by this unknown killer, Sabali Mayor Lamuel Cipriano. Oh, that's funny. Or she's related to Jimmy Cipriano. It's Lamuel Cipriano. Was quoted as saying by the report. Locals believe that the culprit was similar to the mythical werewolf, a creature that strikes during the evening and transforms into a four-legged creature. The island that was supposed werewolf inhabits is as remote and detached from civilization as any other minor island in the Philippines. To reach it by boat from Romblon, people would have to travel 5 hours in a motorized outrigger boat, and it's closer to the main oriental Mindoro Island where most residents get their supplies. It's not known whether the creature hunts alone or moves against its prey in packs, like wolves and wild dogs do. In an attack last Wednesday, 9 goats owned by the local village chief, Ulpiano Ebora of San Vicente, were killed. Or is Vicente or Vicente? I don't know. Before this, several of the livestock were killed in the same locale at the adjacent village of Poblacion. In all, 27 animals had been killed over the past few weeks. So far, no one has seen the creature, and there has been hardly any evidence except for the carcasses. Philippine folklore is rife with frightful creatures of the underworld. During the Spanish period, the colonial government of the island of Panay pervaded the myth of the Aswang, a local version of the shape-shifting, flesh-eating, banshee-like creature in European folklore. The story was allegedly spread to prevent Filipinos from rebelling against then-colonial administration, since rebels usually held clandestine meetings in the evening. And there were others who see similarities between the mystery animal that victimized the goats of Sabale and the so-called chupacabra, a four-legged creature similar to a dog with sharp canines, which can tear the flesh of its victims like a hungry wild animal and suck their blood. I don't know that. I think with the chupacabra, though, I don't know that things are actually dismembered. I think they just find these bloodless carcasses with puncture holes. Generally speaking. So I don't know if that's. I mean, that's not as familiar to me. But anyway. Let's continue. The Aswang, some mythical creatures have their own origin. Their origin in tradition and tales from the distant past. However, each creature is associated with a multitude of interesting and odd creatures. Many of these beings are humanoids. One of these legendary humanoids is the Aswang. The legend of the Aswang is well known throughout the Philippines, except in the, I don't know how to say this, Ilocos region, or I don't know what this is. What letters this is for sure. Ilocos region, I guess. An Aswang is a regular townsperson by day and prefers an occupation related to meat, such as butchery. And they are also said to have an ageless appearance and a quiet, shy, and elusive manner. The creature is described as a combination of vampire and witch, and is almost always female. The key feature of the Aswang is its bloodshot eyes. It's also common in alcoholics. Ooh. Close your eyes before you bleed to death there, Phil. The Aswang is an eater of the dead and a cannibal. And they're capable of transforming into either a huge black dog or a black boar. The creatures stalk and eat human beings. At night, many stories revolve around these creatures eating children and unborn fetuses. Well, that's horrid.
Jeez. Their
favorite body parts are the liver and the heart, and they're known to be viscera. What's viscera suckers? What's viscera suckers? You got anything for that? Mr. Medic?
No.
Nothing?
I don't remember. That's familiar, though. I should know what that means.
Google it. Google it. But I'll continue. The Aswang is believed to have supernatural powers. Once it has overpowered a victim, it will take a bundle of sticks, talahib grass, and rice or banana stalks, and transform these into a replica of their victim. This replica is sent home, where it takes the real person back with her. Upon reaching its home, the replica will become sick and die. Wow, that's very much like the changeling fae legends of swapping babies. The victim will then be killed and eaten. Supposedly, if a person looks at them in the eyes, the reflection would appear inverted. During their nocturnal activities, they walk with their feet facing backward. Garlic bulbs, holy water, and other objects are believed to repel Aswang. At night, they transform into the deadly beast. In the Middle Ages, the Aswang was one of the most feared among the mythical creatures in the Philippines, and it is said that an Aswang can be revealed with the use of a bottle of a special oil made from coconut and mixed with certain plant stems upon which special prayers were said. When an Aswang comes near or walks outside the house at night, the oil is supposed to boil and continue boiling until the Aswang leaves the area. That's horrifying.
Mm.
In the southern, what was the viscera, by the way?
Intestines.
Oh, gross. Okay.
Yeah.
I only like them with sausage inside. That doesn't sound right, did it?
No.
That's not how I meant that. You know, you take the intestine casing and you put in ground meat and spices. That's what I mean. I wasn't being gross.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Let's move along. Nothing to see here. Let's move along. All right, in the southern part of the Philippines, the Aswang are classified into 5 distinctive types. 1, the bloodsucker, which is a vampire. Number 2, the barangan, a vindictive hexer, voodoo and the like. All right, and here's another one, the manananggal, self-segmenter, a creature who can fly through the night using only the upper torso with its entrails dangling below.
Oh, geez.
Number 4, the corpse eater, which is disgusting. Sounds like a ghoul, though.
Yeah.
This is the Aswang who will try and change out the real corpse with a fake corpse made from the trunk of the banana tree. Okay. Number 5, the false beast, an Aswang who can change from a human into a wild pig or dog or whatever shape suits it. I gotta clean my glasses. They are absolutely gross. Reported attack in 2004. So this is allegedly somebody had been attacked by an Aswang, which has got to be a horrific kind of experience. I think that would be like a 10 on the suck meter, right, Sheldon?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's check it out. Let's find out what this person experienced. Osglow, how you doing? That name's familiar to me. Is there any reason why, Sheldon?
Yeah, you know him.
I know I do. How you doing, Osglow? All right, reported attack in 2004 of an Aswang. Let's check this out. Tata Porus, 16 of Barangay Kabuling in Tantangan. Wow. I have no idea what I just said. Claimed his 14-year-old brother Michael was attacked by an Aswang, which he claimed was disguised as a big black dog with red glowering eyes. Ooh, a grim. Porter's descriptions aptly fit the physical appearance of the supernatural being who has the ability to transform itself into different forms while devouring a prey. He claimed that he and his younger brother were sleeping in a small makeshift hut near their rice field on the evening of September 22nd, guarding their farm ducks when the incident happened. The boys' parents were sleeping in their house just a few meters away from the rice field. Aswang talaga ang nakita ko, which is, I'm sure, Filipino for something. Tata said, adding that the big black dog, about 3 feet high, was about to bite the neck of his younger brother when he saw it. I can't believe they're putting Filipino in here. I don't speak Filipino, so I'm going to skip that part. When I saw the Aswang about to bite my younger brother, I grabbed our single-shot rifle and I shot the Aswang, Tata said. And he said the Aswang fled and was lost in the dark. Prior to the alleged attack, Tata said he heard a squeaking sound outside the makeshift hut. They put more Indonesian or Filipino. He said something, the boy said. Do we got to Google Translate this? What the hell does this mean? I got to see now. What the hell did he say? I'm going to go to Google Translate here and try to find out what the hell I'm reading. Because I can't say papalayos sa titingulin naming dalawa yung ingay. Does that make any sense? Anybody? It doesn't to me either. So let's go to detect language, and I'm pasting it. And it's translating. The noise of the two of us is going away. The noise. Okay. So that's what the boy said. I'm keeping it open. I don't know how much more we're going to need this. Michael was hit in his right leg when Tata fired the shot at the Aswang. Oh, he hit his brother too. Yikes.
Oh.
He was immediately brought to the South Cotabato Provincial Hospital for medical treatment. Neighbors who rushed the boy's location reported hearing Tata shouting, "Aswang, Aswang," while pointing to a dark portion of the rice fields. A local radio station carried this story on air, but some of the residents refused to believe the story, brushing this off as a figment of the boy's imagination. Others, however, believed it, citing personal accounts and stories they heard from their friends and relatives living in the allegedly Aswang-infested localities in southern Philippines. Based on the Filipino superstitious beliefs, the usual targets of the Aswang are pregnant women and young children, and it usually attacks on or before midnight. Yikes. How do you like that for some real crap, huh? The Aswang.
Language. Yeah.
Yikes. Okay, I guess I don't need Google Translate anymore.
Gross.
Gross? What?
Yeah, it's the intestines.
Yeah, I know.
That's where your poop is.
I think the poop's in the colon. It's just what the intestines give it.
As it travels, it turns into it. I'm just saying, it depends on when you eat something is what if you're eating poop or not.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
You know, and it's your fault this time. Just for the record, it's your fault.
It is. It's my fault.
Jerk. You always blame me for this. I was just reading a story, and you had to get all gross. Ah. All right. I might have to pull up some more stories here. Let's see what I got next. Oh, no, I do have another one. This is good. This is a white crawler, a pale crawler.
Lions do it all the time.
Huh? What?
Lions do it all the time.
What do they do?
They eat everything. They eat the intestines and all that, which means they eat poop.
Well, yeah, that's probably how they're getting their veggies, right?
Oh, God.
I mean, honest. Right? Because it's already broken down with saliva and everything. They're probably getting, it's probably like a vitamin to them. Like, you know, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You don't have to linger. You don't have to linger.
Nature
it's
doesn't
okay.
waste anything.
We can just move on. I just said just one statement.
Oh, now you want to move on, all right? After you establish the whole poop intestine thing.
I don't need to linger on it, though. Like, oh, yeah, it's veggies. It's like a, nutritional
Well, I'm just
value.
saying, that's probably how they get part of their nutritional balance is through eating that stuff. I mean,
if any of you are eating right now, I'm so sorry for my father's behavior.
Your father, dude, you just threw me under the bus right there. Why are you here? Just to brutalize me on my own show? Oh my gosh.
It's part of my job,
Hyenas even eat the skin and the bones. Well, there you go, Annie. Yeah. Got to have that biotin, right? That's why you don't see any wrinkly hyenas, I'm betting. It's good for their complexion. Oh my God, a family argument, Barbara says. Yeah, you guys wanted to be here. So welcome to the family. It's always this kind of a train wreck, believe it or not. But we love each other. All right. We're going to get you a pale crawler story, Sheldon.
Pale crawler?
Yeah,
like
the rake.
Ghoul?
The rake ghoul, yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
It is. This one comes from Phantoms and Monsters, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Dog Digger over in Rumble said, evening, Sheldon. Just a while.
Hey, Dog Digger.
All right, good. I just want to see what time it is. 8:30. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to pull up
Rumble.
more stories.
I forgot to get that up.
That's all right. That's all right. All right. Here we go. November 6th, 2024 from phantomsandmonsters.com. Pale white crawler humanoid encountered near Winnipeg, Manitoba. Oh. I don't know what it is about these things, but these would definitely be among my least favorite to run into of all the cryptids. And I don't know why, because they're about people size. You'd think, wow, it's about my size. I got a shot, right? But something about them is so freaking creepy, and it just disturbs the hell out of me. Like on a whole different level. It's like I just feel like, oh God, I don't want to see one of those. Anyway, I don't know what that is. I don't know. All right, a Manitoba high schooler and his friend were walking on a local trail at night when they encountered what seemed to be a pale white crawler humanoid in the tall grass. Ugh. That's got to be a horrid thing. I received the following account. So this is one Lana received. Hi, I'm 24 now, but this happened during my senior year in high school. I lived at home near Winnipeg, Manitoba at the time. And by my house were two elementary schools separated by some forest, joined together by a paved bicycle walking trail through said forest. It was nighttime, and my best friend at the time and I were out walking the trail from one school to the other. To paint a good picture of what this trail was like, For some reason, there were only street lights at the ends of the trail where you would be entering the school property. The trail was pitch black. Yeah, because who wants to pay the bill for that? You know, lighting a trail that...
Wait, what city was this in?
Manitoba.
Apparently that's where Rachel's from.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, this is in your neck of the woods, Rachel. The trail was pitch black, almost making it super eerie at night. Anyway, my buddy and I were coming around a bend just outside of where the first school was. And there was a light, but as we approached the bend in the trail, we made it to a point where the light was barely lighting up the trail anymore. While I was walking with my head down, looking at my phone, typical teenager, and my friend was just a few steps ahead, talking, when out of nowhere, he stopped and said, "WTF is that?" Well, naturally, I stopped too. And at first, I didn't see anything. Well, I caught up to where he was, and he was a few steps ahead of me, and he said, "Look, over there in the brush, at that white thing." Now, when I saw this thing, I absolutely froze. Sitting at the side of the trail off the pavement in this tall grass was this hunched over, super pale and white thing that looked like a person who was super skinny to the point where I could see its spine bones and its rib cage. When we first saw it, it had its back to us, and then it turned towards us. Now that'd be the worst part. Just the fact that it's like, oh, it knows, it's looking right at us now. Oh no. It looked like a pale, bald, naked white man with absolutely no hair, severely undernourished and sunken in eyes, and super long arms moving towards us on all fours like an animal. Oh, God. We didn't even say a word to each other. We just both immediately started running the opposite direction to get home. We nearly sprinted the entire way back, which was about 1.5 kilometers. We told my parents when we got home, and the next day in the daylight, of course, my mom and I went back to where my friend and I saw this thing. And sure enough, right where we saw it was a bunch of packed down long grass, as if something were sitting there or lying there. I actually messaged this friend who witnessed it with me as I was writing this, and he still remembers it clear as day. And the fact that it looked almost like a creature mixed with a human. We have no idea what it was. Ugh. Horrid. And Lon didn't make any comment on the end of there. But, yeah, that's got to be horrifying.
Just said, so I was walking for my health one night, and these two kids came up to me.
Trying to get my cardio in, and all of a sudden these kids.
And Emmanuel says Voldemort the Flasher. Oh my God.
He's probably trying to lure him to his van. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Hey, can you kids help me load this couch? Yeah. Oops. Nope. That's from Silence of the Lambs. Buffalo.
That's probably the scariest aspect. It isn't seeing the cryptid as much as when it looks at you.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part. It's like once it turns, like you're engaged now. I mean, it's engaged and you're engaged, and it's like, okay, well, the game is afoot. You know, now it's on, and all you can do is, I mean, you gotta get away, because the big thing with it is you could be like, you know, Joe Macho and just stand there. What do you want? What are you doing? You gonna step up? What's up? You know, but you don't know what you're dealing with. I mean, it could look like this frail figure, but it could be really, really strong. I had this math teacher back in junior high school, and he was a nice guy. He really was, but we were just dicks. You know, we were teenage dicks, you know, so. But we nicknamed him Lurch because he was really tall, but he looked like a stick figure. I mean, the guy was so thin, and he had the long drawn face, and he looked kind of like what David Cassidy looked like on the Addams Family. You know, you rang. And we just called him Lurch. But and he was never excitable, except one day. I don't know what these kids did, but they pissed this guy all the way off. He went right to nuclear. I mean, he was in meltdown. And this tall, skinny guy took a regular school table, and I'm talking like a 6-foot long laminated plywood table with the metal legs and everything. He was on the end of it, and he grabbed the end of that table and he lifted the whole damn thing off the ground with just his hands. And we were like, oh my God, he's stronger than hell. You know, you would never have put that together looking at him. Like if he was this hulking figure, it's like, well, yeah, obviously. But this guy, I mean, even though he was seemingly skinny and seemingly frail, he found his pissed muscles in a hurry. And we all just knew, like, yeah, don't piss him off ever. I mean, he lifted up this table and slammed it down, and suddenly everybody got really, really cooperative. Because it was, I mean, he was no longer in I'm going to be a nice guy teacher anymore. He went right from 0 to pissed, and everybody paid attention. So, I mean, with something like this, you don't know. And how much stronger than people are they? Are they weaker than people? We don't know, but I don't know. They're running around absolutely buck naked, and they're doing just fine, obviously, even though they look like these pale, emaciated, decrepit things. They're obviously doing just fine. So, no, he didn't use his feet. I had a ballet dancer boyfriend, tall and lanky, kicked the crap out of 4 football players, barefoot, never used his hands. Wow. Yeah, there's no doubt. You just can't measure a book by its cover. There's no doubt. I mean, the worst thing you can do is just, jump to conclusions about somebody, because you have no idea the amount of hate and anger built up in somebody. and you don't want to be the one to release that valve, because, man, I've seen small guys kick the hell out of big guys, and they ate turds all their life from these big guys, and then just one day it was like, and something gave way, and it was like, oh, it's like, wow, yeah, you don't want to be the one to release that steam. So
yeah,
crazy.
Rage will do that.
What's that?
Rage will do that.
Yeah, rage will
show you how strong you really are without realizing.
Yeah, I realized I wasn't even on that. This is what a pale crawler allegedly looks like, something like that. I mean, the ribs are AI'd. There's no skin on those. It's just ribs, but it would just look like similar to that, but without the gaps between the ribs.
Yeah. But
they're creepy looking things, whatever they are. So I'm sorry I didn't switch the camera angle, but I did now.
Well, I mean, when you
think you're lagging. Hold on. You're getting like robot Sheldon version.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Am I good now?
I think you're good now, but let me just close this article quick. And okay, go ahead. What were you saying? You think about it? What?
Well, when you think about it, like, I mean, you look at some monkeys that are way smaller than humans, and they can, I mean, I'm not even talking about chimpanzees, but I think there's a even smaller version of monkeys that can still like tear your face off, and like they can still wreck your whole day.
Well, I mean, even a little ankle biter dog can tear you up, and you think, oh, what are they going to do? Well, they'll tear the shit out of your hamstrings until you can't run, and then you're going to be sitting there getting lunch meated all day, So yeah, I mean, don't ever underestimate anything. 10 pounds of strength in a 5-pound bag. Yeah, Phil, that's a good analogy.
I mean, look at honey badgers too. Yep, there you go. Sir in disguise, honey badger. Yep.
Honey badgers. Yeah, exactly. God, they'll stand up to lions.
Oh yeah.
they're just no F's given. They'll just go right to it.
Yeah.
They have no fear. Those things are just ferocious. They look like they're cuter than hell though too. It's just like, oh.
I know. I would love to meet one, but no, they're too ferocious.
Yeah. I don't think they would like to meet you is the problem.
No, they wouldn't.
What the hell was this? Oh, I had this open. I didn't need that. All right, I'm gonna. What?
So rude, but it's fun. The unknown. Yeah, those kick me dogs are dangerous.
Yeah. Don't other primates have a different muscle tissue? Yeah, they do. It's much more dense. Plus, the thing with chimps and many other primates is that their rib cages are actually shaped different. Like ours go up to our body in a barrel shape and then, end at our shoulders. But the primates, actually, their rib cages are like a bell, and they kind of come up to just where the spine is in almost a point. Everything else is freaking muscle. Chest, back, shoulders. And so it's so much more muscle than in their frame, because everything on them is filled out. They still have like clavicles and scapula and stuff, but it's just like an ocean of muscle in their upper body. So it's like, that's why they can sit there and swing on trees all day and just, you watch like Ninja Warrior with people, and it's like, yeah, they do a quick sprint and they're hanging on stuff. And rock climbers are spectacular athletes, but they're not comparable to a chimp or, any kind of primate. There's just no way. So, yeah.
I mean, like I've said before, I mean, I think about this once in a while here and there, but like, imagine if a silverback gorilla knew how to use his strength.
Right. And they weren't just flailing and stuff. If they knew like boxing.
Oh my God.
So if you took like Mike Tyson's ability and put it in a silverback gorilla, oh my God, there wouldn't be anything that could stand up to it.
No.
It'd blast your head off your shoulders.
Oh yeah.
I mean, literally. So yeah, I mean, animals are no joke, man. They are very good at what they do. Now you're gonna have to give me a second here, because I got to actually pull up another article. I think we'll just pull up one more. That'll be about enough time, but I still got to do it. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't you know, you betcha, huh?
Oh, did you see this story?
I don't know. You're
Phantoms
robot
Monsters?
Sheldon again. Hold on. Just give me a sec. I'm closing some tabs here. Okay. What story?
This on Phantoms and Monsters, Afghanistan war veteran recalls human baby crying sounds emitting from cave.
What, did you pull that up? Where's that? Where are you seeing that?
It's on the front page of Phantoms and Monsters, Friday, November 8th.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess we could look at that. Why not? Let me just do that. Hold on. Phantoms and Monsters.com. My typing. I didn't want the search. No. What are you doing? I didn't want that. Just the root page. That's it. It gave me a old link. Oh yeah, there it is. I guess we could read that. That's a brand new one, but wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's check this one out. This may be cryptid. It may be spiritual. It may be any number of things. Yeah, it's not too long. We can cover this one. That's creepy, though. I'm telling you, the people in Afghanistan, there's a lot of strange stories coming out of there. And I got to refer you guys to check out Tales from the Grid Square from Nick Orton. He does it on Instagram. It's Tales from the Grid Square. And all he does is take reports from veterans and stuff of crazy stuff that they saw while in the surface. And some of the stories over there are just like, oh my God.
Tales from what?
Tales from the Grid Square.
I'm going to look that up.
I guess
now.
It's a mapping. It's on Instagram, so.
Oh, I see.
A grid square is a mapping term, apparently. All right, let's go to this. This is, again, Phantoms and Monsters. Special thanks to Lon. He's just got the greatest site, and I really appreciate his blessing to be able to cover these live on the show. Afghanistan war veteran recalls human baby crying sounds emanating from cave. There are giants in those caves sometimes.
I remember reading a story about that. Yeah.
Yeah. The Kandahar giant was the big story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But I will tell you that, there's been portions of the population of Afghanistan that have been cave dwellers forever. I don't know. Or at least they utilize the caves regularly. So, I mean, it could have just been a baby, but let's read it. A U.S. Army veteran recalls a mission in Afghanistan where he and his team were in the Helmand Province mountains when they heard a human baby crying sounds. I received the following account. Sir, the following is my description of my encounter with what I believe to be a cryptid predator. This story is 100% true and not a work of fiction. I have no idea what I encountered, but I believe it was some animal currently unknown to science. This occurred in 2012 when I was in the U.S. Army in Helmand Province, southern Afghanistan, in the late summer, around 5 months into our tour. A mission we were supposed to deploy on was changed the day before due to operational incidents, so I find the odds of a security leak very unlikely. We were dropped off at the far end of a mountain range and had to hike our way up while it was dark and wait up on the top. Well, it took us around 2 hours to reach the top of the mountain, if I recall correctly. The mission was to wait on top overnight and sleep for several hours, and before sunrise, head down into the green zone deep into enemy territory in order to gain the element of surprise and in order to assault Taliban positions. Well, this is a very rural area and off the track, and it would have been a difficult place for a civilian to reach. At some point during the night, I have no idea what time, but it was dark. My friend who was next to me nudged me awake and was looking in front of him at a cave entrance not far in front of us, perhaps 30 feet in front of us. I listened closely in order to hear what was going on and noticed that I could hear the sound of what appeared to be a human baby crying. Well, this confused me given the location, but several moments later, a terrifying thing happened. I noticed that the sound that I was hearing of the baby crying was on a loop, like maybe a 10-second loop, repeating over and over again. Suddenly, a rush of terror came over me, and I immediately thought of some strange animal impersonating a vulnerable human, much like the way cats and birds can mimic human sounds. It repeated for maybe 5 to 10 minutes before stopping. And then nothing but eerie silence. No movement, no voices, nothing. To this day, I have no idea what it could have been. I really doubt it was the enemy forces, as the odds of them knowing we would be there given the last-minute change is unlikely. Plus, it would have been much easier to just attack us. I genuinely believe this was some unknown creature attempting to lure us down into the cave. I have no idea for what purpose, but I doubt that it was anything friendly. Yikes.
God, that's so creepy.
It would be creepy, wouldn't it? I mean, we hear claims of things like that even in the States here, of people hearing crying, like children crying sounds coming from the woods. And what does that mean? Or like baby crying. And is it a mimic? Is it trying to lure people in to look for this defenseless child that needs help? It's really diabolical, I mean, honestly.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
But it's not a lot different than what our hunters do. I mean, the Duck Dynasty. Oh, yay, here comes the ducks. Well, they thought they were being lured in by a sound, so why wouldn't nature do that too, right? And unnatural things as well. I mean, and by unnatural, I just mean that we don't know what the hell they are, but they're out there. And so we call them cryptids. And unnatural because we haven't established what they are. But it is I mean, it's a form of predation, right? It makes sense that it could be. Right?
Wow. Oh God, that's just, I mean, just imagining that scenario.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that thing. It's like, I know this isn't quite reality, that uncanny valley kind of thing, except with sound. Yeah. It just gives you the creeps. Like, no, that's like a red flag. No, don't go there.
Yeah. It's crazy, crazy stuff. Wow. Whatever the case is, I don't know. But again, I mean, the best way to attract your prey is to seem harmless. There's animals that act wounded, like the killdeer. It's a bird that'll act like its wing is broken and just kind of down, and until you come to it, and meanwhile it's just trying to lure you because you were getting too close to its nest, where the eggs are. But I mean, it's so brilliant. Sometimes nature is really brilliant, and whatever nature these things are. But I mean, yeah, the easiest way to hunt is to bring your prey to you, right? So makes sense.
And Wizard, I was thinking the same thing. Wizard said it could have been an actual baby crying for the cave, probably in there with its parents or whomever. But the thing that caught my ear was that the soldier said that it was like on a 10-second loop. It was like the same
Yeah.
like sounds over and over, like no change in it.
For like 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So like that would give me the creeps. Like, yeah, if there's kind of fluctuations in the pattern,
Yeah.
that's probably like, oh, geez, it sounds like there is a baby down there. But a repeat and a repeat and a repeat and a repeat, it's like, okay, something's off.
Also, Grandizer says the hide behind whistles, and when you whistle, it throws rocks and wood at you. Yeah, I wonder about the hide behind. I don't think it's a unique cryptid. I think it's probably a Bigfoot. I don't think it's there's lots of different names for Bigfoot as it is, from skunk ape to grassman to boogers, wood boogers, yowies, yarans, almas, almasties, numbers of different titles to all say the same thing. But I think the hide behinds are just another old name for the tree peeking. They call them hide behinds because these dark figures peek out from the trees and then dark back. And that's a very common Bigfoot behavior. The tree peeking is very, very common. It's even common in wolves. Wolves will do that. And they look like they're being coy and kind of playful, but it's actually very dangerous because they're just sizing you up for the attack, So, yeah. There's a snake that has a tail tip that looks like a spider or bug with legs. Lures in birds and other lizards who think it's food. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, I've seen that.
There's lots of amazing predation in nature. Trapdoor spiders, sitting there under, it looks like a hole in the sand, or whatever until a bug comes along, or the funnel web spiders making these webs where things fall in and can't get out. So yeah, I mean,
evolution, natural selection is just crazy to me because I think I that is one of the videos that I saw of that exact snake that made me think like. How does evolution know to do that?
Right.
I mean, I get how the process works. I do, like, logically. It's just like, how?
I don't, because you have...
And the butterflies that have, like, like eyes on its wings. Like, how do you know to do that?
Or how did an insect decide it wanted to look like a stick? Because that would be safer.
Yeah.
Or, bugs that look like flowers or leaves. It's like, how did they figure that out? So that's why honestly, it's one of the things that leads me to like, intelligent design of some kind, because that's problem solving. I mean, that is calculated problem solving. It's like, well, too many of those are disappearing, so maybe we should make them look like leaves. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, there are more of them are living now. We'll go with that. Like there's some big mind behind this. Is going, yeah, we're losing way too many of those skinny insects. Let's shape them like a stick and see how that goes. Yeah, it seems to be working. Okay, yeah. I mean, you gotta think somehow there's a committee that's doing this, or the divine mind of God or whatever. But exactly the moths that somehow evolved to look like their bird faces looking at you.
Yeah, and Grandizer has a good point too. On the other hand, he said, "So Sheldon, why do snakes never grow legs and get better eyesight? Because that would help with survival too. Like, why are these amazing things happen over here, but then like the obvious things are not happening over here?"
Well, I mean, for snakes, of course, I mean they can be underground as much as they're above ground. So, if you had legs, you'd have to accommodate that. So I imagine they're incredibly efficient. It's incredibly efficient for them because, I mean, there's some snakes, they move like crazy, like as fast as you can run. Some of those blue racers and stuff, they are so quick. Yeah. Zoom. It's like, holy God, that was a snake. I've seen those. They're incredibly fast. And then they can, if they're restrictors, they can use their body and just crush and whatever. I mean, I don't know. Nature is amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
A form of genetic manipulation with all living things through the ages. Could be. Yeah. I mean, but it's kind of like the monkeys with typewriters, eventually making Shakespeare. Yeah, maybe it could eventually happen, but it will take longer than the universe will exist for that to actually happen, is what they calculate. Like it'd take more years than the universe will actually exist for a bunch of monkeys to retype the works of Shakespeare just by slapping keys. And so... and the odds that some mindless bugs would figure out that having a bird face would be better. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's amazing. There's got to be some kind of intelligent design, or at least some divine mind behind it. I don't know. It's incredible stuff.
Just crazy.
It is fascinating. Fascinating stuff for sure. But you know what else is fascinating?
Wow, time's up. Yeah.
Time's up. It's a time anomaly here in the portal. It goes so quickly. Even tigers have white spots on the back of their ears to look like eyes. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they do.
You know, there's some cultures in India that have developed a technique of wearing masks on the back of their head to protect against tigers, because the tiger won't attack if it thinks you're looking and can see it coming, so it won't attack. And I guess it's helped them to live. So it's pretty amazing. Absolutely amazing. But anyway, crazy stuff. But that's the show for tonight, folks. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the journey. And special thank you to everybody who is here with us. And you guys are awesome and amazing. And Sheldon, anything in closing?
Absolutely, guys. As always, don't forget paranormalportal.net, the home base of the Paranormal Portal, where you can stay up to date on all the news on the paranormal, when we're going live, when the new podcast episode is coming out, and your very own interview you can schedule right on the website as well. And don't forget as well that the link for the Discord I'm going to place right in the chat here, where you can go and chat with the community, interact with all the discussions, and share your own discussions on there as well.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you over there if you want to join the Discord. Remember, tomorrow's the Discord question of the week. Special thanks to Chucky Danger for making that happen. And we're going to do that tomorrow night, as well as a bunch of other stuff. We'll have a lot more new articles, new things to discuss. It'll just be all of you and me, but we'll have a good time anyway. There's a fish that has a tongue lure that attract other fish, and other fish goes to eat the lure. The bigger fish closes his mouth and eats them. Yeah, it's an anglerfish.
That's right.
It's called an anglerfish, and they are deep sea fish, like from the deep trenches where there's no light. And, well, I mean, there might be other versions that are much shallower. I need to be the agent for those that I wish could get interviewed on Brent's stream. Oh, Grandizer, you're always trying to shape the future. Gotta love it. I appreciate your efforts. If there's anybody you can connect to that would like to come on the show, that'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight, guys. So I hope you had a good time. Thank you so much for spending part of your weekend here with me. I'll be back tomorrow night, just you and me. And I don't know. I hope we have a good time then, too. And remember, let other people know. Thank you to those that are spreading the word about the shows. Please hit the like before you leave. I'd appreciate that a bunch. And also, if you wouldn't mind, if you're not subscribed, get subscribed, ring the bell, and keep watching for the shows. We always love it and appreciate it. So at any rate, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Again, see you tomorrow night. It's always Wednesday, Friday, Saturday night here on the Paranormal Portal for the live streams. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time is when it starts. So 2 hours every night. And watch for the podcast, which will be coming out on Monday. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's an interview I did with Mr. Matt Knapp of Bigfoot Crossroads. So hopefully you guys will check it out. Tune in. Then we're on our way. So, all right, everybody, that's it. Good night. And remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. We'll see you tomorrow night. Take care, everybody. Until then, be good.
Good night.